And like we always say, blessed to know the best at all times. And the best just walked into the building. Nate, the Galaxy Warrior Campbell. Congratulations on your induction.
Thank you so much.
Weekend, sir.
Thank you so much.
Much appreciated. First and foremost, how does it feel to be recognized by your state for what you've done for the sport of boxing?
Man, it's surreal. I didn't. I made a joke 20 years ago with a friend of mine in the International Boxing Hall of Fame named Jaime Palmer. And the joke was, man, I want to be in Hall one day, but I don't want to be anywhere big like up top. I want to be right here on the bottom. And he's like, why on the bottom? I said, because this is where Ray Robinson is. Ray Robinson's picture says, so I want to be at the very bottom, right above the floor. And he's like, wow. And I kind of walked off, and I think Ed Brophy was there, and he said, huh? He said, who is that kid? He said, that's Nate Campbell. He can be champion one day. Me and Jaime Palmer made a vow. We made a vow that from that day forward, that whoever fought for the world title, we would both come in each other's title fights. He ended up fighting for the Virginia State title, which was his world title. And I made it my business. I was one of the top fighters in the world to go to a little small town and be a part of it. And people were like, why? I said, because I gave him my word.
Right.
And
that small town's Jacksonville?
Well, no.
Okay.
He went to Virginia. He fought in Virginia.
Okay.
He actually had to fight in West Virginia, but it was for the Virginia State title.
Sure.
And I won the world title, and he came for my number one ranking fight, but he watched and had a big fight party for my other fight. And somebody asked me, what does it mean to me to be coming to the hall? And I keep telling people, my daughter's names are changed. My father will always be remembered, and my mother was validated.
Yes.
And so for me, it's not about me because I didn't really care about fame. I never cared to be famous. Still don't care about fame. I did it because my family had a name that was littered with bad marks, and I felt like the only way to clean it up was to do something so good that you couldn't remember all the bad marks that were etched against my family's name. Right. So for me, the name Campbell is blessed to be here because from now on, whenever they say Campbell, it won't be that stuff. It'll be this, and that's what's important to me.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All day.
It's important to me.
You had a great career. You had a great career.
Thank you.
Right? 37-11, 1. I mean, you fought everybody.
Yeah.
Even some of today's dudes, obviously. You fought everybody. You won 3 titles.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. I'm blessed, man. I worked hard. I know that they say that you deserve it, but I don't believe that you deserve anything you're not willing to fight, kill, and die for. Right. And for me, I just wanted to be willing to show my daughters that to work really hard, you could accomplish anything you wanted to accomplish. So my daughters are very successful women, mothers, and I'm proud for that because they have, if nothing else, they can say that, oh, your daddy did this wrong, he did that wrong, and shit, most of it they tell the truth about. I wasn't perfect. I'm willing to say that I wasn't altogether right sometimes. I messed up. My bad.
We know the feeling.
Yeah. But
my bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just wanted my daughters to have a better chance at life than I had, and this is the way I thought that I could do it. And
yeah,
I'm gonna probably say this tomorrow, but I'm definitely gonna say it now for those that probably won't watch. I used to think that being a good boxer would make me a good man, but I learned in life that being a good man is what made me a good boxer, a great boxer, a legend, or whatever they call me. That's what really made the difference in my life. So for me, that's all that really matters to me in this great in this end. That I'm a good man.
Well, how did the state of Florida engender your fighting ferocity, or was it a part of that at all?
It was. I grew up in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, which is a racist city, very racist, always been racist. It's named after Andrew Jackson. It was called Calvert first. I grew up in an affluent black, which was once the most affluent black area in the country. One of them, La Villa, and you couldn't. My dad was born in 1943, and he took me downtown Jacksonville, and he showed me every place that he had to go into the back door.
Wow. And
he educated me on that, and I'm an activist for that now. I fight against racial equality, and I want the best for my people. And the guy's like, "You're racist." I'm not racist. I don't want more for my people. I want the same, and I want equal. If I commit a crime, I want to be treated the same way that the kid next to me that's white I want that. That's all I want. So for me, it emboldened me to be this way. And I was the poorest kid in the poor neighborhood. I really was the poorest kid in the poor neighborhood. I didn't have lights, no water. I had lanterns and fireplace, and I bathed in a foot tub. I looked down the street at the Barnett Bank Tower in Jacksonville downtown, and that's how I knew what time it was to go to school, because there was a clock. And my dad would be in the hospital. He'd be sick. He died from a disease they had no name for, and they later gave that disease a name called AIDS. And my father died. And when he died, when I was 10, on my 10th birthday, 26 years and one day to the day that I won the world title. I never celebrated my birthday again.
Wow.
And it made me have a chip on my shoulder. It made me fight with a desire to be. You had to kill me to win, or do your very best to stay out of my way. I wanted to be the best. And it wasn't because I was trying to be famous. Two very prominent men died early in my life. My grandfather died. I watched him die on the front porch. He died and they revived him. And he grabbed my arm. And he told me, he said, you promised me you'll be a man. That no matter what happens in this life, you'll be a man. You'll raise a family. You'll be a man. Promise me that you'll be a father. And that was in the 70s at that point. There was a big LGBT movement.
Sure.
And for my grandfather, he was totally against it. And I'm not for it. I'm not against it either. I just want you to be happy.
Right.
And I promised him that I would. And I see things the way that I was raised to see them. And I understand that what it is what it is.
Sure.
And he said, go to your daddy, who was not his son. He just knew that I needed a man to direct me. And I ended up with my father eventually. And my father did the very best he could. And the greatest moment of my life was not a good moment with my father. My father was sick in the hospital, one of those down times.
Sure.
And he said, what you want to be when you grow up? He was laying in that bed and he was sick, and he looked over and said, what you want to be? I said, I don't know. I said, I want to be just like you, though. And he reached over with all the strength he could muster. And he grabbed my right arm. And he pulled me to him. And he looked me in the face and he said, you promised me you'll be better. You promised me you'll do more. You promised me you'll let nothing stop you. You promised me that you'll be the best you can be. And I said, but there is no one better than you. And he said, you are better than me.
Wow.
And I love you more than I love myself. And at that moment, I knew that anything that I did had to be great. Because he told me some time before that I don't care what you do, just whatever it is, you pick it and you be the best at it.
That's right.
And it galvanized me to whatever I did, I wanted to be the best at it. And I didn't want to be the best because I wanted some moniker. I wanted to be the best because I made him a vow. So I've lived that vow out my whole entire life. I still live it to this day. I try to be the best that I can at everything I do.
Yeah, talk to me about the Galaxy Warrior. How'd you get your nickname?
Funny. Boxing at the Galaxy was the name of a place. It was a computer store. And the guy that owned it was named Dino Ferrari.
Okay.
Dino was my dude. He was that guy that he owned a gym. He owned a computer store. He built computers. He was building computers. And in the back there was an overhang where he took Bisqueen all around it, this like tarp. And he built the gym. And he built that gym, built the ring there. And he had a big painting on the wall. And you're looking at it. It says boxing at the Galaxy.
Right.
And those guys all those guys on the from my left, we all won the state tournament that year. He took second place. All out of one gym. And we were a small team. We took 7 guys. We brought back 5 medals.
Wow.
That year. And we had 3 gold and 2 silver, something like that. 3 gold, and it was something crazy. It was great deal. And I had the best knockout of the tournament.
Right.
Brian Gary was the referee of the fight.
Right.
I wanted to buy the gym. I wanted to buy the building. So I was getting ready to go pro. Some years later, I went pro, and I saved all the money I could. I had like $50,000 saved up from a couple fights. And I went in and I said, I went to look and see if there was a place I could buy the fight, and they had torn the building down. But I had Galaxy on my arm.
Right.
And I'd been saving money. And they tore the building down. I'm like, wow. And they've been calling me the Galaxy. You know, they call me, so I put Galaxy over this tattoo on my arm.
Right.
And the guy said, Galaxy Warrior, that's a cool name.
Nice.
And it stuck.
So you've definitely continued that legacy.
Yeah.
From that point on.
That gym did so much in my life. Saved my life. I wasn't happy in my marriage, and I didn't want to be I was a minister in the church. I didn't want to be I didn't want to run off and cheat on my wife or do something. So I figured the best way to steer that energy and the pain that I was feeling from all the parts of my life was to steer it into something else.
Absolutely.
So boxing was where I went.
And now you're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this 2019 season, and the Campbell name lives on, just as you said.
Yeah, it lives on. I mean, it lives on for someone.
Absolutely.
I'm quite enamored with the fact that I get so many Facebook inboxes and Instagram inboxes and guys. Like,
I'm about to be the next one, by the way. Look out for my DMs, baby.
All right. And what they'll do is they're like, man, what was it like turning pro so late or being an amateur so late? How did you do it? And my one thing has always been the same. For me, it was about having a vision to be something better than just who people thought I was, because I was once told that I would never make TV unless I was on America's Most Wanted. I was a rough kid, man. I came up rough. 15 years old, I was a basketball star, but I was a thug, and I was really serious about this thug thing. I mean, I shoot at you, shoot you, and do a whole lot of the stuff to get it done, because I was by myself by that time. My mother was in prison. My dad was dead. I wasn't going back to foster care. I was out there.
Right.
So when I made 18, the guy said, you won't make 21. So when I made 21, I went back with my family. And he said, really? Come back and see me when you turn 25. And I went back
Right.
after I turned 25, and old guy was sick. And he said, I knew you could. I just wanted to make sure that you'd be here. He said, I hear you're boxing now. I said, yes, sir. He said, good.
Nice.
You get to steer that, turn that anger into something else.
That's right.
I said, so you did that for what? He said, I did that because you have more to give to the world than just being a killer.
That's it.
He said, man, you're a father now. And he died sometime after. He said, that just showed me that even with me, people who understood me. My stubborn mentality was, I'm going to prove you wrong. And
there it is.
so I was able to live out my life and do some great things because someone didn't give me that admonishment. Oh, you're great. You're awesome. Nah,
Right.
you. For me, it was the other way. And he understood that.
And this is Nate Campbell, your 2019 inductee for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. Nate, thanks for taking it so real and telling us so much.
Thank you so
about
much,
your
man.
amazing life, brother.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Absolutely.